Good morning, excuse me. It's meteorologist Michael Fecker. Welcome back to the 8:30 a.m. morning news and weather update. We do this every day, Monday through Friday. We'll start off with a look at our forecast and we'll transition over to your top news headlines of the day with Casey and Mitch. So you don't want to go anywhere to get your news or your fill of news and weather. But again, we're starting it off here with a look at the forecast. So this morning, we had some frost and some fog out there. We're seeing a lot of that begin to dissipate now that the sun is rising. Now, we're also going to be tracking out some more clouds moving throughout the day today, and then even some showers as we head towards the weekend and into the start of next week. And then behind those showers, we're going to have temperatures turning much colder, colder than average for the middle and end of next week. So here's a current look at all of the cold or frost advisories that we have. Most of them have been now expired. They expired at 8 o'clock this morning. So any frost or freezing that we had earlier this morning, that should start to kind of melt away. We do still have some frost advisories off to our northwest still, but that is out of our viewing area. Taking a look at our current temperatures, many of us started out this morning in the mid 30s. Here in Evansville, I think we dropped to around 36 degrees as our low, but some folks all the way to our North Lawrenceville, they bottomed out at around 31 degrees this morning. So we had some folks even drop below freezing out there. So it is a very, very chilly start. Making sure you remember to grab your sweatshirt or your jacket as you head out the door, and maybe even give that car a good start a few minutes beforehand and turn on the butt warmers, because I know I had to this morning when I stepped outside. But looking at the next 12 hours with plenty of sunshine, we will still warm up into the low 60s. Again, we are going to gradually see an increase in that cloud cover through the day today. So it will become partly cloudy through the afternoon and eventually mostly cloudy once we get into the overnight hours. But in terms of your evening forecast, we really shouldn't have much of an issue for Friday night football. I'd say you're good to go. It is going to be cloudy out there, and temperatures are going to be a lot cooler than they have been for a lot of these games recently. So kickoff already temperatures in the mid 50s, and we'll be dropping out of the 50s and into the upper 40s by the time you're going home tonight. So again, more sweatshirts, jackets, keeping yourself warm even outside for tonight. There is that chance of a stray sprinkle probably in southern Illinois, but really not expecting that to make it into the tri-state. For tonight, though, 45 degrees for our overnight lows, mostly cloudy and calm winds. And looking at the weekend forecast, we'll hold on to that cloud cover throughout the day on Saturday. We don't really see the rain chances increase for us until we get into Saturday evening, and then they'll continue into the day on Sunday, becoming a lot more widespread as moisture lifts up from the south. So let's time it out all here starting this morning. We've got some higher level clouds, but mostly sunny skies, and then we'll start to see partly cloudy skies move through during the afternoon, and then overnight, that's when we see most of the skies cloud up for us here. And then going through the first half of the day on Saturday, no issues at all. It's just going to be a gray day. We will have some showers start to pop up as we get towards 8, 9 o'clock Saturday evening. And then it's going to be pretty spotty in terms of those shower chances through the overnight hours. And then once we get into Sunday, mainly Sunday afternoon, that's when I think the showers become a lot more widespread. And I think a lot more of us will actually see some of that rain. And it looks like maybe even picking up on potentially moderate amounts of rain across portions of western Kentucky there. But looking at our rainstorm chances, we may continue to see some of these showers lingering around through the start of the work week, but it looks like of the 4 or 5 days that we're looking at potential shower chances, it looks like Sunday is going to be our wettest day. So if you do have any plans outdoors this weekend, if you can move them, I would say move them to Saturday. It's not going to be a sunny day, but at least it won't be raining on you. And in terms of our rainfall forecast through Tuesday, it looks like we could pick up anywhere between a half an inch all the way up to an inch in most cases. Some spots maybe even pick up an inch and a half with any heavier pockets of rain that develop. So this is a good, nice, soaking rain, which is going to continue to help us out in terms of our drought. This is the current drought monitor. This updates every Thursday. So this just came out yesterday. You could see a majority of the tri-state here, at least a little over half for areas south and east of Evansville. It looks like we are completely cleared out of that drought. However, our friends in southern Illinois still dealing with either abnormally dry conditions or moderate drought. So hopefully this last little bit of rainfall can help kind of take that out of there, and we'll be good to go through the rest of this fall. But looking at our temperature trends, we are going to actually cool down below average for the first time. Our temperature outlook actually showing a shade of blue there, indicating that it is going to get cooler out out there. So looking at our next 7 days, typically our highs top out in the mid to upper 60s. We'll be below that here through the weekend and all of next week, getting much below that by Wednesday and Thursday. Highs may only top out in the upper 50s for the end of next week. So really feeling like fall, and those overnight lows bottoming out in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. So a lot more frosty mornings likely on the way over the next few weeks. So don't put away those jackets yet. And looking at the tropics, again, kind of on the other end of the spectrum here, we're talking about cold. Now we're going all the way to our south. We've got Tropical Storm Melissa, and it is currently has sustained wind speeds of around 45 miles per hour, and it is moving very slowly, slower than the average human's walk. It's moving at 1 mile per hour to the east-southeast, and that is causing a lot of issues. It is causing widespread flooding in areas like Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and this storm is expected to intensify into a major Category 4 hurricane as it nears the island of Jamaica. If it continues to move that slow as a Category 4 hurricane near the island of Jamaica, this could be potentially catastrophic for them. So I hope that this doesn't end up being as bad as it's forecast right now, but moving at 1 mile per hour as a Category 4 storm is not good for anyone. So thoughts and prayers for those down in the Caribbean. But looking at our 7-day forecast here in the tri-state, again, it's going to be mostly dry today. We've got plenty of sunshine out there, but we will see those clouds gradually increase through the afternoon and into the evening. We've got a few spotty showers possible Saturday evening, but I think the more widespread rain will be likely on Monday, leading into Sunday and into Monday, with a few lingering showers there through Tuesday before we dry out through the middle and end of next week, with temperatures dropping down into the upper 50s. But that is all I have here for the forecast. Let me go ahead and take this full screen so you guys can get a better view of it. We don't go anywhere yet. After this short break, we're going to have Mitch and Casey come in and talk about your latest breaking news headlines.
At 8:30 a.m., get your first alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app, on your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app, and stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here for the news portion of your streaming show. I'm Mitch Carter.
That's right. I'm Casey Mason. We're happy to have you here on our Friday. We made it to the end of the week.
You did.
But it was a chilly, foggy start to the day for sure out there, folks. Things clearing up now. But, of course, meteorologist Michael Fecca covered everything you need to know earlier. And now we're going to get to our top headlines we wanted to recap with you here today.
Yeah, and with those cold temperatures Michael just talked about here, it's kind of our first headline for you. We noticed that was coming in, and a white flag notice is now in effect as well at United Caring Services in Evansville. Now, last year, UCS, they changed their white flag temperature to put that white flag out there from 32 degrees up to 40. And Executive Director Ryan Riggs says they'd actually planned to raise the white flag on November 1st. However, the cold temps this year came in a bit quicker than last year. Last night, though, they replaced the tables there with beds and opened up their doors to all who needed a place to sleep and to get a warm meal.
November 20th was the first night that we had white flag last year. This year, we planned to do a full 6 months of white flag starting November 1st and running clear through April 30th. Irregardless of what the temperature was outside, we were going to go ahead and have white flag so that for those 6 months, everyone had a place to go.
Riggs says the shelter there has been donated several blankets, and they're always accepting more donations. For those who might want to donate blankets or other supplies, you can, of course, drop it all off at the front desk there of the building.
All right, and happening tonight, the World Series begins with the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Of course, neither team anywhere near the tri-state, but you guys know we've got that strong connection in our guy, Don Mattingly. That's right. It's actually his third year as the bench coach for the Toronto Blue Jays. The six-time All-Star never made it past the postseason there with the Yankees. He would actually fare better in his tenure as both the LA Dodgers and Miami Marlins manager, and yet still no trips to the World Series. Well, that drought finally ends tonight, you guys. First pitch is going to be at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time if you want to watch the game, support Donnie, of course, see some good baseball in action.
No doubt. And kind of our last thing here, I might split this one up with you here because
right.
it's got something to do with her. Latest episode of our What's the Trend podcast comes out today. This week, digital content producer Aaron Weeks and Casey Mason have a very special guest.
That's right. A little something to do with me here, as I do co-host it with Aaron there. We have a great time. If you've never checked out our podcast, of course, it is a pop culture related show. We kind of break it down with local events to know about, as well as movies, music, television, and some sports as well. And this week, we actually got the chance to talk with a young man here in the tri-state. His name is Wake Ritter. What a cool name, by the way.
Very cool.
What a cool name. He is a rising child actor here in the tri-state, and he has really a great resume at such a young age. We said he's got more under his name before he even gets a driver's license than most people in a lifetime. He also got the chance to star in a recent film that was shown at the Victory International Film Festival. Here's a soundbite of what he had to say.
What was it like doing like the film festival circuit kind of?
Ooh, yeah. So, it was definitely fun to go into like a actual like theater and see a screen with projector and see my scene in Dirty Laundry like played on there, and I was like, wow,
That's
like
gotta be awesome.
it was like a second realization hit. I
Yes.
was like, this is actually on a big screen, like it's an actual film. But yeah, we went there and we were watching it with, I mean, some friends from theater came along and watched it, and I definitely think Dirty Laundry has probably been the most advertised. They put a lot of effort into like posting on social media and stuff with that.
All right, well, there you have it. Of course, you can listen to What's the Trend any place you get your podcast, or watch it over on the 14 News YouTube channel. Also, Jeff Lyons' podcast, Inside Look. Fabulous guests each week. Be sure to check those shows out. If you have some free time, driving in your car, cleaning your house, whatever, we just appreciate the support. And hey, we're having fun bringing it to you each week.
That's what it's all about. Right now, 8:42 here on your Friday morning, made it to the end of the week, of course. It was a cool start out there, and we are kind of looking ahead to maybe some rain coming up this weekend. We'll keep an eye on it here. And of course, our meteorologists here, including Michael Fecka, filling in this week for Byron Douglas, doing such a great job out there. For those of us joining us this morning, though, we appreciate you, just like your podcast. Appreciate the support, those hopping on here. Right, like I said, right now, 8:42. You have anything else you want to add? Or
You
we
know,
good?
just going to say you'll see Michael and I back at 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock here on 14 News. But overall, cover your mums, keep them safe. I'm trying to keep mine alive this season, but I think Mitch Carter, that'll do it. We just want to wish everybody a very happy weekend out there across the tri-state.
We'll see you Monday. Take care.